We have another set of women leaders coming up who will be talking about leading the way, building diversity in facility management. So let me welcome our eminent speakers of this session. Ashwini Walawalkar, Country Head, Technique Control Facility Management, our first speaker of the day. Let me introduce Ashwini, who is a seasoned IFM professional with 3 decades of experience in the hospitality and service industry. She has been instrumental in driving global business strategies in India across her portfolios, and she also spearheads the firm to meet its DEI goals. Bharathi, Kamath, Managing Director, Carewel Facilities India Private Limited, our next speaker of this session. With the experience of more than 12 years across Taj Group and ITC Welcome Group of Hotels, Bharathi finally stepped into the role of an entrepreneur, establishing Carewel Facilities. Proficient in the field of upkeep and maintenance, she has been associated with some of the major companies in various segments. Our next and final speaker of this session, let me introduce Tapasi Chakraborty, Chief Executive Officer, Astute Outsourcing Services Private Limited. Tapasi, with experience of 14 years in the field of business management and operations, has reached excellence in managing the setup of new facilities. She's a member of Business Network International. She was also an executive board member of Indian Staffing Federation, as well as the regional chair for North chapter of ISF. So I welcome all my women leader speakers here on this session. My first question to you again, facility management or, housekeeping is considered something which is, as a pink collar job where you have more women. How did you reach the leadership level? Because even in facility management, we still do not see so many women leaders. Tapasi, starting from you, you have reached to the highest level of your organization. What was the journey like?
Thank you so much, Sapna. So choosing a career path, one of the most important thing as a person does the facility management, the explore the wider world of the corporate career and attraction to the new client. Before this, my aim is to do something, social activities like, related to unskilled people and promote them, give them work, train them, and professionally educated them, and motivate them to do something for our, for them, for their family, and for our society. So, so that's why I'm just join in facility management.
Okay, but how was your journey like? Rising.
I'm starting here. From 2005 after marriage. I'm from Calcutta, and not only the Calcutta, there is a village called Bishnupur. From Calcutta is 150 kilometer far away, right? And I'm coming here after my marriage in 2005, and after that, so many ups and downs keep going. I did some job, and but what happened that in my leadership, in my own thing, I just wanted to do something for people. I just wanted to do something for our society. So after doing some jobs and all ups and downs, I just started start working as a facility management and join Astute Outsourcing Services Private Limited, and just choosing this career and step by step, and just I reach here.
Okay, fantastic. So interesting journey from a small town to a big city, and then, heading an organization. So that's very interesting. We'll come back to you to know more about that. But Ashwini, how did your, we don't see a lot of women, leaders or women leadership in facility management. You also had a very interesting journey rising from in the ranks. So how was your journey like?
So coming to facility management, I think I came into facility management, which that time nobody knew that there is something called as facility management. So I was in a very, I would say, in a comfortable, not comfortable, but in a very prestigious job of working with Taj. And I think Taj is one organization for most of the hoteliers, on this forum right now would say that, one of the dream jobs. And then I was called for something, which was a very prestigious institute again, which was very nearby to Mumbai, a place called as Lonavala, and they were coming up with a very prestigious state-of-art, I would say, a resort. And they were looking out for an executive housekeeper. And the company that approached me was into that time, this word of facility management was not there. It was called like a contract housekeeping. So it was very tough for me to take that decision. I'm sure, that time nobody was even in support of that decision with me, because they felt that, leaving a settled job like Taj with a Taj Group, Tata Group, and getting into something which nobody is aware of was tough. At the same time, what I felt is that why is that we have to look only at the property like which is only hotels. But now that we all know, I mean, to you is almost more than 2 decades back. Now it's well versed and people understand. So I think I never came consciously into facility management, but yes, later on it became a facility management.
Okay, so it was a gradual transition.
Gradual transition.
What is now, facility management was already there. I think the term has been coined now.
Yes.
Ms. Bharathi, again, you from working with the various organizations, you are an entrepreneur now. So how did that journey happen?
Thank you, Sapna. How did I get into facility management I think it was a natural route. After having worked with the hotels for about 12 years with the Taj and the Welcome Group, I realized that how important it was, the aspect of this housekeeping, which has been termed differently today. And it was so different from the glamorous side of the business that we were in. And Ashwini will agree with me for that. But it played a very crucial role. And when I started almost 20 years ago, I think it was absolutely new, but I somehow had a gut feeling that there's huge potential in this. And that's how I got into this. It was very natural for me to move into this role. And that was a time when the multinationals were coming in and they were outsourcing all their non-core activities, and they were looking for people to provide service. And initially, I started off as a housekeeping service provider, but over a period of time now, Carewel has evolved into a multifaceted service provider, providing various types of support services in all segments, across all segments of industry. And I think I've not looked back after that.
That's right. That's fantastic. But, we were talking about in earlier sessions about prejudices, about challenges of being a woman professional. Things have changed a lot over the years. Tapasi, starting from you, what were the challenges you faced as a woman professional, as a female professional, especially when you're climbing the ladder towards leadership?
Lots of challenges. It's not so much easy to, started Kolkata, the Bishnupur to New Delhi. In terms of anything, I can say being a woman, I suffer a lot of challenges taken for granted, that time I have so much language problem, in not clear about Hindi, not clear about English. When I was, doing, client meeting, I cannot express myself, that how to express myself. I cannot actually express myself that I'm coming from, for what reason actually, right? And there is again then trust issue is there, that if you are not making understand in front, client, in that case the trust issue is there. So this is I have faced lots of challenges. In that time there is no internet in 2005, no Android phones, and the situation is not
and
like.
As a woman, did you have to prove yourself more? Being a woman, going out for meetings, did you have to prove yourself more?
Door to I did door-to-door sale actually, Encyclopedia Britannica, and I sell door-to-door in Delhi. So I lots of challenges I have faces in that time. But yes, I can I can say that I accept all these challenges in the positive way. Whatever today I am, because of the that type of challenges we faced that time. time. So I can understand, I can rectify myself, and I again do something, wrong thing. I did something wrong thing. Again, I get the experience, and now today I'm whatever I am. But sky's the limit. I have to go
Yes,
beyond
the
this.
learning curve, I think, with challenges are also opportunities in disguise, as they say. Ashwini, did you, as a woman professional, did you have to face any prejudices, challenges, in your career?
I think yes, and specific to facility management, I'm sure everyone faces their share of challenges, may it be a male or a female. But when it comes to a women into facility management, now things have changed, or rather, I would say, are changing. Not completely, I would say that they have changed, but in the beginning, it's all a very male-dominated area. Though it's housekeeping, where we say that like you rightly said in the beginning, it's like a pink-collar job. But yes, when you get into a corporate world, you still have a lot of men around you, and you have to keep proving yourself. So if you don't want to be somebody who's doing a desk job or just sitting behind a computer or a laptop and working, you have to go out all there, and stand equally with men. You have to have your share of struggles, and you have to keep proving yourself. The proving doesn't mean that it's something wrong. Everyone has to prove, male or female. I don't want to get into a gender biasness here, but for women, it is, with that, you have a lot of other things to be taken care of. So it's expected that still, if a marriage comes, then your first thing is you leave your work and first take care of your marriage or the new world that you're entering into. Or if you have a baby, then the first thing is you get on an extended leave, not the 3 months or now the 6 months. So that's an expectation from women. And then when you have to be in that same world and you want to prove yourself, definitely you have to put in a extra than what a man would do in this.
That's right. I think the challenges are equal for men and women in any profession, but I think the demands or the prioritization for a woman becomes different. As you said, you have to get married, so you prioritize that. You have a child, you prioritize that, and then you prioritize your career. But I think it's all about passion. I think if women want to do something, they just go ahead and do that. Is Bharti, again. As a woman professional, what was that biggest challenge that you had to face?
Well, in the initial stages, there were a lot of challenges. And I would say one of the biggest challenges was like certain aspects of working capital. About 20, 22 years ago, if you had to go to a bank, the approach was the way the banks looked at anybody asking for any funding was very different from what it is today. So I would say working capital, then client acquisition was also a huge challenge because it's not that there was a gender bias, I would say, from my point of view, but then people would say, do you think a lady would be able to manage such a huge workforce? So you had to convince the client that we would deliver the same quality of service, or maybe even better than what a man would do. And there were also like government regulations and organizational procedures, which were all challenges at the initial stage. But once that had been set, I think it went fine. But founded more than 20 years ago, it was a very difficult time for a woman entrepreneur to get a very firm grounding and establish in an industry which was predominantly male dominated.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Being a woman entrepreneur, I think it was even more difficult, as you mentioned, that banks looked at you differently, the clients looked at you differently, and it was a matter of convincing them. I think you just need to, I think, break those perceptions, those prejudices. That was one of the biggest challenges, as what Ms. Bharti has said. But how have the things changed? That was the time when you had started out. These were the challenges at that point of time. 20 years down the line, 15 years down the line, how have things changed? Tapasi, how has things changed now? For women professionals now, is it easier now for them to be part of our industry?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, please.
I strongly believe that there is nothing that can stop a woman today. there could be a bias here and there, but I think on the whole, people accept, and also people have realized that a woman can deliver maybe even better than what a man would do. Because I think we are more committed. I don't say men are not committed, but I think the commitment level of a woman entrepreneur is far, far higher than I would say many of the others. And it's all the more because we definitely have to put in a lot of effort, because for the simple reason that we have to prove that we are no less than the male counterpart.
Right.
So that remains there even today to that extent. But I think things have changed. But the challenges are today in a different manner, where change has become inevitable with the new norms and how dynamic and fluid the situation is. And we have to keep changing and evolving and not stand by and watch something else go by.
I think it is more industry changes which are happening, lot of uncertain times, lot of new developments that have happened. But as you rightly said, that for women things are now much easier. People now realize even top managements are now changing. Tapasi, what is your outlook? How things have changed?
I'm very much agree with Bharti, because changing is happening, and the mindset of people are changing, right? So, and as well as the internet, social media, advertisement, government, the hastakshep, I can say, these all are the activities changing the mind today's scenario. But again, very rightly said Bharti, that the challenges is very different. I cannot say that there is no challenges. There is a challenges, but the different way the challenges is happening as of now. Again, we are the woman, we are the struggler, and definitely we are like Durga Roop. So we have to be managed in our home, we have to manage our office, we have to manage our society. So that is the way.
So women are, always considered good at multitasking, and
Yes,
there is,
yes.
the science says that women are better at multitasking.
Right.
Ashwini, you heard both the speakers, and in fact, embassy, technique control facility management is part of that bigger group, and you yourself are driving gender diversity and women empowerment in your organization. What is the change you see in the newer lot of women professionals who are coming in? They are more self-assured, they are more confident. I think, women leaders like you have already set the path for them. What is the change that you are seeing?
So I feel I agree with both Bharti and Tapsi what they said, because I think the outlook has totally changed. Facility management, what it was maybe even 10 years ago, has completely changed. So it's a little, not little, a lot different now. There are various forums and educational knowledge also now through it's not only a hotel management that happens. Now there are courses on facility management. People know what this business is all about. Because when we were in those industry, nobody knew what a facility management was. It was broadly called as housekeeping or a maintenance sort of a role. So people never thought of having careers here. And I think because of these various forums that happen now, people are aware, ladies are aware, female think that there can be a career on those. And I think if we have more forums like this, if we keep addressing people, if there is a curriculum in the colleges also, because this is not only something which is more of an hygiene, more than, only a career. So, and post COVID, I think this has become totally a different outlook of a facility management. I think it has become now more technology driven. It's not only called as, housekeeping or a technical services, but a lot more. So I think the avenues are bigger for women now, and I can see that change happening at all levels, not only at the leadership, but right from the bottom level, people looking at this as a career option.
Okay, that's great. I think facility management now, I think the only thing we need in facility management, we see more women in the soft services side of facility management, not the hard services. I think we need more engineering graduates coming in, women engineers joining this sector. That is where I think we can have more of them. Now, my one question to all of you is, what drives you every day to work? What makes you get up in the morning and go to work? Tapsi, what drives you every day? What, to work?
So life is not easy, and to go, sometimes it's never change and get the answer right time. So for my personal opinion, I firmly believe Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and I, get all the answer from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, whatever the challenge is getting as of now. I feel in this situation, in business, in my personal life, I'm the Arjun, and I just read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and I got all the answer on it, right? So you have to be keep reading good things, you have to be keep doing good things, and you have to be keep learning. And definitely the patience is there, because we all are suffering, last 2 years from COVID-19 situation was very bad. But again, I can say we get something, something good thing from
That's
God,
right.
Ashirwad from God. So this is, I think,
That's fantastic. I think every day it's a new battle to be
yes.
won. I think that is what Tapasi is saying. Ashwini, what drives you every day to work?
So, I'm sorry, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So for me, it is that I think, all the career that I have worked, or all the different roles that I have done have been always challenging, and I have tried to come out of my comfort zone and work. So coming out of that comfort zone and challenging challenges to face every day, and I'm sure my colleagues on this panel will agree, is that in facility management every day is a different challenge, and there are challenges every day. So that's one. So the challenges actually, give me a kick to come out of my bed and work and go towards the work. But the second also important is for the organization right now that I'm working is 9,000 plus employees. And we have a very high vision of making it 50,000 plus employees. But I think the 9,000 plus also, when I look at it, we are not giving them just jobs, we are giving them a career. We want them to grow in their career. So there's a lot of social impact that we are driving. And it's not about that, we work with the very lowest strata of the people in the country. So giving them jobs, okay, where so much of high unemployment is there, running the family, if I say on an average, if a family has 3 people, 3 to 4 people, we are talking about touching lives of around maybe 27, 30,000 people in a day, which is a big social impact. So I think that's a way I look at my job, and that's a passion for me.
So that responsibility of those 9,000 workforce and their families is something that makes you, drive to work, face new challenges every day, because those are the people you are responsible for. So that's a very nice thought. Bharti, I'm sure, you are running your organization, you every day you get up, do something new, take that, organization even further. But what is that one thing that drives you every morning?
There are majorly two things. One is learning is my biggest driving force. It happens every day. Secondly, the very fact that one makes a multifold impact on which is a very high level driver for me in my entrepreneurial role. Like Ashwini said, we do impact a lot of people, and that makes a huge difference. The very fact that when you have around 50% of the staff who are at a grassroots level, you take them on, they have no experience, they have no exposure, you take them on, skill them, train them, and ensure that they get a decent monthly income, makes a huge difference. And I think from that perspective, we are truly transforming the lives of the underprivileged. And I think that's a huge driving force for me.
I think that becomes like your second family, you feel responsible that this is also my family, for whom I'm responsible and I have to take care. And for Bharti, it's every day is a new learning, and you are always looking out for a new learning every day. So that's a very nice, conversation that we had now, from each of our speaker, that one advice that you would like to give to the younger generation. Tapsi, again, starting from you, what that one advice that you will give to younger generation?
Okay, so COVID-19, the biggest learning lesson the world, and I learned about these things. And again, I say that the one quote, "Karmanne Vasudeva Ma Kaleshu Kadachana." Matlab, you have to do your work, right? Whatever happened, right? So for younger generation, you have to do your work, keep patience, you don't have in your hand everything, right? So keep trying and trying. As Ashwini said, yes, we have a very I can say big responsibility in our hand, because I have more than 10,000 manpower, Ashwini have more than 9,000 manpower, and they have all their responsibility, their family responsibility, they are for in our hand, in our head. So you have to do your best. Rest, keep it on go.
So what Tapsi's advice is to be patient and take failures with successes and just continue to do what you're supposed to do. Ashwini, what is your advice for the younger generation of women leaders, the future leaders?
Sure. So I think I would say not one, but I'll just break it into two, three. So first, a very important thing is that there are no shortcuts to hard work and to the success. So the younger generation now that we see, they want to see the results fast, but yeah, you need to have patience. It will come through. Second would be, passion, work with your all passion that you have. If you have to excel, just focus on doing what you're doing and do the best that you can, instead of looking at what will be the outcome. If you focus on what you're doing currently in the best way, I think you'll do great. Third, and the most important thing is, I think now things are in a better shape. The struggle for women is not on the equality part. So when we are talking here about equality, and when you want to come and show the world that you are not different, okay, from men, you want all the privileges that a man drives or the positions that the man has, then I think you should not be looking at talking about the flexi timings and how could it be a softer for female, or can it be lesser working hours. I think no. If we have to run this race, I think we should run on equality and not looking at those benefits. So I think if these 2-3 things they take care of, I'm sure the success is guaranteed.
I think what Ashwini is saying is passion, patience, and parity. So parity, when we are talking about, it has to be parity, pay parity, work parity, and everything. It has to be a level playing field for all, whether you are a man or a woman. So that is what Ashwini's advice to the younger generation is: don't be impatient and have passion. Bharathi, what is your one word of advice for the younger generation?
What I would say is, never say die. You have to try. And the minute if you don't try, you will always regret. And there's so many opportunities compared to what we had. And the younger generation have that opportunity, but they also have their own challenges which have to be met in today's fluid situation. So do not be stuck in a grout. Get moving, change, and meet this dynamic change that is happening all the time. But in the process, one guiding principle that they should not forget is resilience. It should be their guiding principle. Whenever you start something, if you're not resilient, you'll break down very soon.
Right.
So that's something that's extremely important, and I strongly believe in that. And lastly, I would say to every entrepreneur, youngsters who want to come up, you have a vision, go after it.
Right.
Don't allow it to let go of it after a short while. Pursue that vision, because you have such a huge supporting system which was missing at the time when we started or when I started.
Right.
The opportunities are great. You have a huge support system, and I think they should go ahead.
Right. So what Ms. Bharti is saying, that for younger generation, the good part is they have their opportunities. They have the support system, much better support system. They need to have a goal. They need to consistently work towards it, and be resilient, and let not fall through what you have set for yourself. So that is what Ms. Bharti's message for our younger generation of women leaders is. But thank you so much. I think we learned a lot from your own journeys and experiences, pretty tough experiences, pretty challenging journeys. But that kind of, looking at the women leaders today here with us and even the earlier ones, I think, we are on the right track. Women professionals are on the right track. For the younger generation, they have opened up a lot of avenues. So thank you so much to our women leaders for being here with us, sharing their experiences. And as Ashwini said, maybe next time we'll be talking about even bigger, the path has been set, things are changing, and probably next time we'll be talking about something bigger for women, in our next
Exactly, Sapna.
discussion.
And might be next time we will, talk with not virtually, physically,
Yes, of
right?
course. We will definitely be in touch. On ground event, we will be talking about these topics and probably much more. But thank you so much for being here with us today, joining here, on our virtual platform. Tapasi, thank you for sharing your views. Ashwini, thank you for sharing your perspective, and Bharti for being here with us, giving us your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you
to
so much.
all
Thanks
our
a lot, Ashwini, Bharti, and Sapna, and whole reality team. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you very much, Sapna.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for that wonderful conversation. It was indeed fantastic to know about your journey as entrepreneurs, as innovators, and motivations that you had to create the history in your segment. So with that, we come to the fantastic ending of this conclave. Thank you to all our speakers of this edition of Realty Plus Woman Icon Conclave, making it so enriching, interesting, and not to mention very inspiring. And thanks to the awesome audience as well for being here with us today and sharing their queries.